Joining us here on the DA Show, one of my favorite guests, and I don't just say that, I really mean this. He's one of my favorite people in football. I love having him on the show. Every time we get to catch up on air, off air, it's always so fun. Football is back, and watching your favorite team at home is better than ever. TV technology is so advanced, you can actually feel like you're on the 50-yard line. And joining us today, NFL Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, TD, teaming up with Consumer Technology Association to share the ultimate playbook for watching sports. TD, as always, it's great to talk to you, brother. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on today? How you been?
I'm great, man. Everything is great. I'm so excited. Football season is here. Week 1 is here. And we're talking about the Khalil Mack trade. What do you think? Did the Raiders make a mistake trading away a guy in his prime that's a former Defensive Player of the Year?
Well, that was my initial reaction, and many people feel that way. But I'm trying to look at both sides of this coin. If you're the Raiders, you've had Khalil Mack for the last 4 years, and they've had one winning season. So you have to kind of look at it and to see, okay, do we need more pieces around us? And so they're kind of building for the future and trying to make sure that they are fielding, as Gruden would say, a 53-man roster, and to make sure that they have some longevity in that construction. The opposite side of that is he's a guy that just doesn't come around often, and his impact on the field of getting sacks. And I remember on our show, NFL Network, we were looking at some of the things that he was doing. I think since 2015 in the fourth quarter, he led in sacks and pressures and things of that nature. And to me, that's a guy's impact. Like, when are you getting sacks? Are the sacks coming in the first quarter when the game is kind of tight, or are you getting sacks when the game is kind of in the balance and you need that player to make a play? And Khalil just demonstrated that he was coming through when teams needed to make a play. And so now you don't pay him, and this could be more than just them not wanting to pay him. Obviously, it could be the team just doesn't have cash, and so there's other things that factor into it. But yeah, I mean, we'll look back at this trade in about 3 or 4 years from now and see if those first-round picks that they've got, if those translate or if they just convert into players of his caliber.
Yeah, John Gruden's legacy going to be defined by those 4 first-rounders, 2 of their own and then 2 they got from the Bears. If they nail them, fine. If not, it's going to be a long couple of years for John Gruden, and the legacy is going to take a serious hit. The other big story we're talking about today is Le'Veon Bell's holdout. Do you think that Le'Veon has intention of missing regular season games, including Sunday against the Browns?
DA, it's the closer it gets to game number 1, it looks like he might be dug in his hole. I find it hard to kind of pass up signing that franchise tag of $50. I find it hard that he's willing to do that. But, maybe this is the year he's like, listen, I've got to make a stand. I've got to do something. Maybe he's looking at Khalil Mack and thinking, hey, maybe a trade could be in the works. I don't know, but if he returns, he certainly gives them what they need. They need his presence. They need his presence to be a team that's going to be a Super Bowl contending team. He just brings so much to the table, and his ability to run the ball, catch the ball in the backfield, to get the attention of a defensive coordinator. He's important to their success. So they got to get him back in that building. But, man, I don't know. I wouldn't. I'll tell you what, I'd be sprinting to sign that franchise tag.
Terrell Davis joining us this morning here on the show. They're talking up James Conner in Pittsburgh, saying he's done so great in the preseason, that he can do so many of the things that Le'Veon does. But are they just kind of whistling past the graveyard? I mean, how much of a drop-off is there from Le'Veon Bell to James Conner for the Steelers, a team with Super Bowl aspirations?
Just from what I've seen in the preseason, he's a different back, obviously, but when he was running in preseason, you can kind of see that he was trying. I mean, he learned from Bell, obviously, being his backup, and you can kind of tell that he's taken a few pages out of the book with his patience and how he tries to hesitate a little bit. But I think they have a decent back. He has to go out there and prove it. But on this level, you just have to go with what you have. But he's got an opportunity. James Conner has an opportunity to show his talent and to make people kind of not forget about Lev Bell, but be a little bit more comfortable that he's starting. And these are opportunities that every kid, every young man in the National Football League just dreams of. So he has to take advantage of that. And I think if Mike Tomlin is talking about Connor in that fashion, I think he really is a genuine, compliment.
Deshaun Watson tore apart the league last year when he finally started after week one. He was just amazing for a rookie. But then, of course, he ruptures his ACL and misses the second half of the season. Now, coming into this year, there's really high expectations. Do you think Deshaun Watson picks up where he left off? Or year two, defenses and coaches have film on you, it's going to be kind of a comeback down-to-earth type season for Watson?
As much as I love Deshaun Watson, I really do. I think this year is going to be different. We've seen this in the past. Dak Prescott, RG3. We've seen quarterbacks have success their first year. Year two, DA, you know how it is. It is a different beast. Not only is he coming off that knee injury, which he looks fantastic in the preseason. Knee looks strong, so that may not be of major concern. But because this offseason really wasn't one of just training and strengthening, it was one of rehabbing. And so a lot of the time rehabbing is not one of improving what you didn't do well last year. The fact that coordinators are going to change things up on him to make him have to throw from the pocket and do more things of that nature, it's just tough, man. It's just tough trying to put back-to-back. I mean, last year he was on a record pace when you saw what he did last year. I don't know if he comes out the gates as on that same level this year. So I expect him to struggle a little bit, but hopefully he proves me wrong.
Terrell Davis is our guest, Pro Football Hall of Famer. I want to ask you about Phillip Lindsay because he's one of the most popular players of the Broncos, even though he's a special teams guy. He had an amazing high school career in Denver. He had a great college career at Colorado. And you're one of his heroes growing up, and so he's right now, just doing special team stuff, but he asked you if he could wear your number. When he came to you with that request, how did you feel? What did you think?
He called. We talked on the phone. He actually texted me, and then I called him up, and we talked, and I was really impressed with him as a person. First, and he told me the backstory. I knew he was from Denver, and I knew he had gone to CU. But he told me about growing up and having my book and reading my book, and he said that my book was like one of few books that he actually finished, and he kind of used my story as his motivation. So, somebody tells you that, man, that kind of gets you right there, man. So I was a little impressed with that. But then the fact that he's an underdog, he's undrafted, and I felt like that number kind of represents that. I was a sixth-round pick, and it's easy to give your number to somebody that's a first-round pick, second-round pick. But I thought that for what he brings to the table, it was perfect for a kid that is that's fighting, that's fought, actually walked on basically, and and is the starting kick returner, and he's second on the depth chart as far as running back. So, hey, man, this might turn out to be just the beginning of a major career for this young man, and we'll look back on this moment and say, hey, man, you kind of saw it, kind of helped him kind of build that with just blessing him with that number.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Football is back. Technology for TVs is so good. You feel like you're right there. And for you, you're teaming up with Consumer Technology Association to share the ultimate playbook for watching sports. So for our listeners out there getting ready to watch football this week in week one of the NFL, what's the tips? What's the advice?
Man, the tip is we want to make your football experience the best you've ever had. And, of course, you know that technology is at its finest right now. We have a couple of TVs. They're all 4K UHD TVs that deliver the best picture that you can get right now. The first one is a Samsung. It's a QLED TV. It's vibrant and vivid colors. Man, DA, it makes you feel like you're right there watching the games in person. And then we have the LG. It's the OLED TV. And this TV is great because no matter where you are, what angle you're watching the TV, it's all a great picture. You could be in front of the couch watching it or from the side, with your buddies. Nobody's fighting over that perfect spot to get to look at that TV. And then the next one is a Sony Bravia, and this one is it's a smart TV and it has Google Assistant, which means that you can use your voice to make commands with it. Turn the TV up, turn the channel, or if your team is losing, you could turn the TV off. So that's what's great about this, man. And it has Google Assistant, which is compatible with Amazon and Alexa. So those are our 3 TVs. They're all 4K, 65-inch TVs. But now you got to make sure that the sound is in your house, right? So now we have the Vizio Home Theater surround sound system. It's an immersive dome surround sound. Man, it makes you feel like you are right in the action. And it has a built-in Chromecast. You can stream your favorite music and podcasts. It's an amazing surround sound system.
Oh, you got my toes and fingers tingling right now, getting ready for football this week, and I can't wait. I cannot wait. Terrell Davis, 2-time Super Bowl champion, Super Bowl MVP, Pro Football Hall of Famer, and has all the tips for you for your NFL viewing this weekend. TD, it is always awesome to catch up, brother. Thank you so much, and hopefully we'll do it again, bud.
All right, DA, have a good one, man.
You too, man. Terrell Davis joining us this morning here on the DA Show. Good stuff.